Hello and welcome if you're new. I am Lil Wide and today we're doing an Rainbow Operator tier list for Operation Shifting Tides. Now, everything I'm about to say is completely opinion based apart from the operator stats, like their abilities and gadgets obviously, but where I actually place them is all opinion based, okay? So, get that cleared. The first two ops are the two new ops for Operation Shifting Tides. You got Wamai and Kali. I think that's how you say them, okay? I haven't exactly played a lot of these two operators. I have versed and played them enough to know what their abilities are, but strategy wise, I don't think I can really definitively put them because they're probably going to get nerfed soon, as Wamai is just so strong. Kali's gun is strong, but I don't think that will be receiving a nerf because I think it's quite balanced. Her gun, in opinion, a lot of people don't like it. So if it does get nerfed, it's probably because of all the complaining about how OP it is. But so I'll start with Wamai. I'm gonna put him in A tier. Okay, he has an AUG as his gun. Like you can't go wrong. He's also got the MP5K mute gun. I think it's the MP5K because the MP5's Doc's gun. But his ability is pretty much Jaeger's, but you only get five of them, and they regenerate over time like Legion's goo mines. Um, and it's solid, man. Like the range on that thing is insane. It can stop pretty much anything, even Capital bolts. It can stop. Even Nomad charges, but when it catches it, unlike Jaeger's just destroys it. Wamai's just brings it to a different position, but it still goes off. So like a Capital bolt, for instance, it's still gonna get pulled, and like if it's a smoke bolt, you're still gonna get the smoke cloud come out. So that is still balanced, it's not getting destroyed, and in the process, his ability gets destroyed, the little mine that sucks it away. So I think he's pretty strong right now as Shifting Tides just got released. So that's he's definitely A, and I think Carly's probably A as well. Or no, I'll put her in B. I'll put her in B because if you're gonna play a sniper, Glaz he's just obsolete now. Carly's Carly's where it's at, man. You get that one tap down on like every operator. Like it's strong, but it's balanced. I think. Personally. Maybe a little nerf, like 3 arm. No, I don't. Maybe like Rook's armor could stop it for a 3 armor, maybe. But it's strong, and she's got breaching charges as her ability, which allows her to put holes in walls, get rid of barricades and stuff easily. Her gun is also an anti-material gun, so if you shoot a wall, you're gonna leave quite a big hole, which allows her to open up a lot of places to shoot from, which I think is quite strong. That she gets pretty powerful when she starts opening up holes in walls, and it just gets so annoying to verse her. Up next we have Capital, who's probably a solid A, or put him in A. Capital's solid, okay? He's in a good spot at the moment since he's received the buff for his firebolts, which his firebolts and smoke bolts just they're so helpful. If you're gonna go into plant, you just smoke it and then, well, you can firebolt first, firebolt the entrances, then smoke it, and then go for the plant, or you can firebolt behind shields, firebolt corners. It's just so strong, you know. The, then you get the plant off, and his guns are strong as well. We've got the Para 308 or the M249 LMG. Personally, I go for the LMG just because I like the scope, the ACOG scope. It's a lot cleaner than the normal ACOGs, and it has a lot of ammo. But the Para is still a great choice, and it has some pretty cool skins in my opinion, some of the best in the game. So that's why he's a solid A tier operator. Next we have Ashe, who's also A tier. She used to be S tier due to her ACOG on her R4C, but they kind of removed it because it was OP. Um, Her ability is the breaching round. She gets two, I believe, and those are pretty strong. They allow her to open up floors for vertical play, holes in walls for rotations, and if you really want, you can kill downed enemies. That's always fun to do. She also has the G3, which it's a pretty solid gun. Mostly, you only pick the G3 if you're really an ACOG player. Um, Personally, I go with the R4 because I don't really run ACOGs too often on guns. I usually run like a holographic or a reflex because I like close range battles and they're just better in my opinion. Next we got Buck, who's also A tier. Buck's solid. He's got a skeleton key to open up floors, walls, whatever you want. It pairs nicely with his grenades, which can get rid of gadgets nicely. So you can open up a floor and get rid of bandit batteries, or you can chuck a grenade and get rid of maestro cams, which Ashe can also do quite effectively because she can do it at range, which a grenade could be stopped by um, Jaeger's gadget, for instance. But if you play it smart, Buck's a very strong op. And his gun, what is it? The C85. That's a solid pick. He also has a DMR, but I don't really run DMRs too often. Um, because the C85 is a very strong gun. It can do a lot of damage, but its recoil is probably one of the highest. So he's probably not what do you call it? He's probably not an easy operator to start with. He's more of an advanced op. Next we have Blackbeard, who I'm gonna put in B. He is strong, but he's probably not as strong as Buck and Ashe and Capital and all that. His ability is a shield on his gun, so that pretty much means you're not gonna get headshot instantly. So he's quite noob friendly, I would say. He's got a good gun, the MK17. That's what it is. I prefer that over the DMR. The only problem with the MK17 is its ammo. It doesn't really have that much, but I usually pick it because you do play Blackbeard far back, like on windows or on the outside, to make it harder for the enemy to shoot you, because that's how you play Blackbeard. But eventually you'll probably have to come into the site, which you don't really want to have a DMR up close because fast fire rate guns will just melt you. So that's why I bring the MK17 over the DMR. But the DMR is still a strong pick. Next we have Clash. I'll put her in D. She's not horrible, but she's horrible at the same time. Like, if you play her right, then you can get a lot of intel off her. She's like Montaigne, you know? You can get a lot of info off them, where enemies are coming from, where they are, what they're using, all that type of stuff. But once she's got the info, there's nothing else she can really do. She can zap people to slow them down, but she's easy to counter. Capitel's a strong counter to her. He can just place the firebolts behind her or something. Um, concussion mines, all that. Even the Kali's new sniper is quite effective to get rid of her because you can shoot and it will make her shield bounce to the side, allowing your teammate or even Kali can get a second snipe off to kill her. So she's not in a good spot at the moment, and she's constantly getting nerfed and changed and taken out of the game because there's so many glitches that you can do with her. So that's why she's probably a D operator. Next is Kavera. I'm gonna put her in B because she probably doesn't deserve B, but I love playing Kavera. Okay, I used to be a Kavera main, so she probably used to be A, but she did get nerfed recently because people kept complaining about how annoying she can be. Because you got the silent step, which is literally the name. You have silent step. No one can hear you coming, and you can just come up behind someone, down them, interrogate, and as soon as you get that off, it's game over. But she's kind of useless unless she gets her ability, because if she doesn't get her ability, she's not doing anything towards the team. But if she gets her ability, it's pretty much an easy win from there, because you know where everyone is. So she's probably a B for me. Next is Doc. I'm gonna put Doc in A. Yeah, I'm gonna put Doc in A. Um, Doc's strong. He's got strong guns. P90, MP, his shotgun. He can heal people. He's a 3 armor, really good anchor. Okay, Doc's probably one of the best anchors. You also got Rook. Where's Rook? Let's do him as well. Rook, I'm just gonna put B A as well. There is debate whether Doc or Rook is better, because a lot of Doc players are quite they only care about themselves. They only heal themselves. Personally, I prefer Doc because I don't just heal myself. I'm actually a really good healer at healing the whole team. Rook does supply armor to everyone, so he's also a really strong pick. And usually you get quite these two paired together in lower ranks. You get a Doc and a Rook, so it's a win-win really. You get two great anchors, so they're both good AOPs. Next is Dokkaebi. I'm probably gonna put her in D. I just don't like her. Don't like playing her. Don't like versing her. It's just nothing good about Dokkaebi. She has a solid DMR, but I'm not a DMR fan, because as soon as you get into close range, just a DMR is not really that effective compared to other guns, such as assault rifles or SMGs. And her ability is a good ability. I'm not gonna lie. Um, the cool people, you can also hack cameras, so Valkyrie gets counted quite easily. Um, it's quite effective for getting info, but her gun is just, I just don't like it. They got the Boss G, okay, that's fun. Now it has the ACOG now. it gets quite interesting with Dokkaebi. She's also got two good secondaries, the SMGs, but it's just not enough to actually enjoy playing or do good playing Dokkaebi, in my opinion. That's why she's a D operator. Next is Echo. Echo is obviously S tier. His ability with the yokai drones, he gets two of them. They're practically invisible, but can see them on some surfaces. He's got an amazing gun. Supernova, I mean, it's just amazing. Oh, wait, that's right. He's also got his SMG, which is um, overpowered, is a good way to put it. It just melts enemies. He's got a shield, so he can just sit in a corner on his drones if you really want. But I play more of a, kind of anchorer as well, because you get those drones for info, and then when you need to, you go on, deny a plant, win the game, echo people, they can't do anything, you shoot them, they're dead. He's just so strong. Next we have Ela. I'm gonna put Ela B or C. I'm gonna put her in B. Yeah. Her concussion mines are pretty strong. Like, you get hit by one of those, it's info, and it's also really hard to shoot when you're concussed like that. So that gives the enemy team quite a advantage in a gunfight if you have been concussed, but she only gets three of them, so you have to place them good. So, eh, you just gotta kind of get lucky with your placements, I guess. And they can be countered by grenades, but I don't really see the point, because you can just run in, trigger it, and run back out. We'll have a teammate standing there waiting. She does have good guns. Her Scorpion is especially good. I like it. It does have a really weird recoil pattern though, so not many people go for Ela anymore. She used to be like S tier, like a god, because the Scorpion was just so powerful. She does also have a shotgun, her FO, but that also got nerfed. Surprisingly, everyone loves nerfing Ela's guns, but her shotgun's still pretty powerful. You just have to be kind of more close now. So that's why she's a B op. not an S-op anymore. Next is Finka. Finka's probably a C tier for me. Um, Her ability is good, but it is so annoying. Like, say you're playing Buck, who has a really high recoil gun, and you're shooting at someone, and you're adjusting for the recoil, right? You're pulling your mouse down to adjust for the recoil. Then a Finker pops her ability, which gives you no recoil. Then your gun's just going to go straight towards the ground, and it really screws me over all the time. You know, it's annoying if you get the Finker ability wrong, but if you're coordinated, Finker can be quite useful. You know, if you pop it, coordinate, pops at the right time, you get extra health. You can pick up down people from anywhere in the map. You know, that's pretty powerful too. Um, she's alright. Her guns, not a fan. Not a fan of her guns. Um, her spear is probably the main choice. She does have a good shotgun, which I have black eyes for, so that's probably the only reason I play her. If I play her. So yeah, it's probably why she's just the operator. Next is Frost. Where's Frost? I'm gonna put Frost in C as well. She's not that useful because she does have bear traps, which instantly down people, but majority of the time you're gonna expect them, right? The only place that you ever see frost traps really uh, are by windows, and a lot of players will now jump, vault windows, and then aim straight down, and you can shoot them before you even touch them. So they're kind of useless. Her gun is quite slow, but it does reasonable damage. It's easy to get headshots. Her shotgun used to be powerful. That thing used to be a sniper across any map. But as as all good guns do, they get nerfed. So Frost is a C tier operator. Next is Fuse. He's probably my first E tier operator. He's not. His ability is strong. Okay, it can get rid of players if they're on site or wherever you're fusing, usually on site. But a lot of people, you can hear him placing his ability, so you can get wall bangs through windows. Sometimes you can throw a C4 up and hit him that way. So it's quite loud. But the main thing, he gets rid of gadgets. So you can get rid of Jaeger things, Maestros. Oh no, maybe not. I think Jaeger does counter him, but I don't know how many of the fragments it actually stops. So it can waste Jaeger things pretty effectively. But his guns are just horrible. I hate all his guns. His AK sucks. His LMG's alright. If I had to pick one, it'd be the LMG. He does have a shield as well, so some people run the shield with the pistol, but personally, Fuse is just in a bad spot. Next is Bandit. He's S tier. MP7's amazing. M870 is just probably a really strong shotgun. Not many people run it though, but if you're playing with the boys, you run the M870, obviously. Um, He's one of the only operators that you can actually, well, bandit trick with. So if someone goes to place an exothermic charge, you can quickly place your battery fast enough to destroy the exothermic charge and stop it from getting hit by Thatcher's EMP grenades. He gets four of them, so you can do quite a lot of walls with four. Like if you look at oh no, not Conchilla. Oh, Conchilla's good because you got the garage, so you can bandit trick that. So it's pretty strong operator. And his MP7 is just amazing. So he's obviously S tier. Next is Glaz. I'm putting Glaz in D or C or D. D. We'll do D. Glaz is in a bad spot at the moment. He used to be a very strong operator, but with Kali being introduced, I think he's just lost so many placements in these tiers. Because now you have to stand still with him, so it's not really that useful. Sorry. And his gun is not that strong personally. Kelly can one tap anyone down. Glaz, you have to hit a few shots first, and you have to be standing still. So I think Glaz is a D operator. Next is Gridlock. I'm gonna put Gridlock in B. Um, I think Gridlock's quite a good operator. I've been maining her recently, and her ability is so nice because you can just block off rotations, block staircases. You know, it's so good. And her gun, the was it F90, I believe it is. That's quite a fun gun to use. But I mostly run with the LMG because it's just has so much more ammo. And since she's a 3 armor, you don't really need to be running and getting in their face. So you can sit back with the LMG and stop rotations. So good luck's a strong operator. Next is Hibana. I'm probably gonna put Hibana in S tier. Okay, her gun, the type, is a good gun. Strong. It doesn't have much ammo, but you don't need much ammo with the type. It's got good recoil and does good damage, so that really makes up for the lack of ammo. Her ability is the fidget spinners. it's, yeah, it's pretty strong. She gets three of them, or three sets of them, and which allows you to open mostly hatches with Hibana. Um, that's usually when I bring her, and she's just a strong operator. She's also got the bearing as a secondary, so that's just another advantage. She's at 3 speed, and Hibana is S tier for me. Next is IQ. I'm gonna put IQ in B tier. Maybe no A tier. A tier. Her guns are strong. Okay, you got the AUG and the Commando. I run the Commando with a reflex instead of an ACOG because I like getting up close. Her gadget allows you to see electronics like Velk cams, because Velk's a really annoying operator to verse in my opinion, because you can get some pretty good Velk spots, you know, like that people will not see. So an IQ is a good counter to that. You can also see Vigil through walls, so you can relay that information to your team, so you always know where Vigil is. You can see Pulse. So the IQs are pretty strong up at the moment. Next is Blitz. I'm probably gonna put Blitz in C tier. Um, if you know what you're doing, he's easy to counter. You know, he's just another shield up. You can hear him coming. He's loud. He does have his flash shield, which is pretty powerful. Getting flashed, it's pretty much game over. But if you hear him coming, you can just, you know, tell your team, and you got Legion Mines, impacts. Someone can be there with you. He's not that powerful. Next is Castle. He's probably C tier as well. His ability, if used correctly, is alright, but there's so many operators now that can just destroy it without wasting too much utility. Like you got Zofia, Ash, Kali, breaching charges, you know, you can just go on and on and on. But his guns are pretty good. I like the UMP. UMP is a strong gun. It's slow fire rate, but it allows you to hit headshots a lot easier. And his shotgun's pretty strong. Um, for holding sight or holding a doorway or something. So Castle's a C operator. Next we have Jackal. I'm gonna put him in A. Okay, he has been nerfed recently, but Jackal is still a strong operator even though he got nerfed because all that matters is that very first ping. As soon as you ping, that's all you need, right? Because you can see that someone's in that room. It doesn't really matter about the next 3 pings or whatever it is. It's all about that first ping, in my opinion. So his guns are good. The PD dub is probably my preference. You know, it's got that fast fire rate. Just chuck a reflex on, you can get up nice and close, deal some good damage. So Jackal's a strong A tier up. Next is Jaeger. He's S tier. There's only 2 defenders I believe with assault rifles on defense. Wamai being one of them, Jaeger being the other. Jaeger's gun is incredibly good. Um, I throw a holographic sight on that. He's a good roamer. His ability's strong. He can stop grenades, destroy them instantly. He's just straight S tier. Next is Cade. I'm probably gonna put Cade in B tier. His ability is useful, but he only gets 2 of them. He did have 3, but they thought that was just way too much utility. So now he has 2, but with his recent buff, it has extra range. So you can actually get 3 wolves with 1. I don't actually know what you call them. Electro Claw? Yeah, Electro Claw. And he has a shotgun with an ACOG with 11 bullets with slugs. So, well, not slugs. Anyway, you get my point. he's a strong B, and if not, an A tier operator. Next, Kapkan. I'm probably going to put him in C. His ability is useful, but a lot of people know how to verse a Kapkan now, the same as Frost. You just check a doorway before going through it. Not quite that hard. His guns are not that good. Some machine guns alright, shotguns alright, but that's about it. He's just alright. Next is Legion. He's probably an A tier for me. S tier, sorry. His gun's real good. His SMG. Um, nice recoil. His ability is strong. You want to keep him alive though, or you want to stay alive, keep him alive, whatever one. Because his ability charges over time to make him even more powerful. Because he's just a real good information gatherer, pretty much. You always know where the enemy's coming from as soon as they touch one of your goo mines, and the goo mines are a pain because you can just push as soon as they're doing it because they have to remove it with an animation. So he's a strong S tier op. Next is Lion. I'm probably gonna put him in D tier. He used to be a strong op, but now he's just his gadget is nothing. You just gotta wait for like 2 seconds, then you can move. And even if you do move, it's only a ping system, unlike his outline that they used to have. So yeah, his gun's kind of cool though. What was it? The V something. I can't remember now. I don't really use him that much, which is kind of cool to use. He's also got DMR, but he's just a D tier op. Next is Maestro. I'm gonna put Maestro in A tier. His LMG is insane, and it has an ACOG on defense. His ability is also pretty insane because it's bulletproof and it can zap people, and it's really good for getting info. But he's not quite an S tier because he only gets two of them, and if and there's quite a few ops that can get rid of his ability, like with grenades or Ash's breaching charge and stuff. So he's a strong A tier. Next is Maestro. I'm gonna put Maestro in B tier. I've been playing him recently, and he's pretty strong because he's good at getting rid of like bandit batteries. He can stop bandit tricking because you can put a hole at the bottom and shoot the bandit when he comes up. So that's a good counter. His gun M4 is one I use. It's amazing. Good recoil, strong damage, and he's just a B tier. Next is Mirror. Mirror, I'm gonna put an A. Yeah, it probably could be an S, but I'm gonna put an A. Her Vector is strong. It's the high fire rate, high damage. Can't go wrong with the Vector. Her ability is obviously a mirror that is you can see one way through it. Black mirror. So the enemy can't see you, but you can see them. And then you just put a hole beside you and just peek them, peek, 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 and it's a very strong gadget. Next is Montaigne. Where's Montaigne? I'm probably gonna put Montaigne in C, because he's easy to counter with just a simple nitro cell or some impacts, but he's alright if you use him right, but he's also easy to counter, so you have to play him a lot more passively now. Montaigne. He pairs well with Capital, to be honest, because you can smoke and then he can like guard Capital for the plant, which is a strong strategy that I use a lot. But yeah, he's just a C operator because he just doesn't bring that much to the team. Next is Mozzie. I'm gonna put Mozzie in B. He's got two strong. Oh, he also has an assault rifle. Yeah, sorry, three people with assault rifles. Mozzie's strong. You pair his ability with Mute, and you get a really good defense. Because you just get no drone info because you can just block off all the sites. And if you give up a drone to Mozzie, well, that becomes a lot of info for the enemy team because he can just drive around, find like the last person pretty fast, and he's B op. Next is Mute. I'm also gonna put him in B with Mozzie because Mute's ability is solid. It's quite solid. Um, can stop people putting exothermic charges down. You can't bandit trick, so to say, but you can deny it. But a simple Thatcher can get rid of it, or a Twitch drone can get rid of it easily. So that's why he's B and not S with bandit. Next is Nook. I'm probably gonna put Nook in C. Um, she's not that powerful. She has a 2 armor, so you can kind of hear her coming. Her ability allows her to silence step and be invisible to cameras. She does have Smoke's primary gun as her primary gun. So with the FMG9, which is quite a solid gun, I like it. But Nook is just not that effective at the moment. Next is Nomad. I'm gonna put Nomad in B because Nomad's got two strong guns. There's quite a lot of debate on which one's better, the AX and the AK. Um, but a lot of people go for the AK. Yeah, and her ability is kind of like Gridlocks. It stops rotations, stops runouts because it blasts them back. But she's not quite at A tier. Cause yeah, she's not quite at A tier. I don't really know. I don't. Maybe it's hard to say. 'Cause she could be in A tier. She could be in B tier. But I'm gonna leave her in B tier for now. Next is Pulse. Pulse is A. Pulse is strong. Okay, because you can go below the site or above, depending on which site you're on, and then just scan down. If you go below the site, you can throw a nitro up and stop a plant. If you go above, you can just relay information back, and if someone is planting, you could take the chance and try to shoot through the floor. It's good at getting info, and his UMP, as I said with Castle, was quite a strong pick because it has slow fire rate, but that means you get a better chance at hitting a headshot. So Pulse is probably an A for me. Next is Sledge. I'm gonna put Sledge in B. He's a good starting operator because his ability allows him to open up soft walls and floors. Mostly, if you open up floors, you can open a lot of floors with a sledgehammer, which is real good for doing vertical play. And his gun is really strong. He's also got the SMG secondary, which is powerful if you run out of ammo or if you need to just quickly switch to that. So he's probably a B, maybe an A, but I don't think he's quite as good as Buck because Buck's like Sledge 2.0. So I'll put him in B. Next is Smoke. He's probably also a B operator. His gadget denies pushes, especially if he has all three canisters near to the end, 30 seconds to the end of the round. He can just start smoking off and no one can push in because his gadget does quite a bit of damage. He does have the the FMG9 for his primary, but a lot of people run the shotgun since he has a secondary submachine gun, which he's probably not a noob friendly op because his secondary SMG is quite hard to use at longer ranges. But then if you want, you could just run the FMG, but his shotgun allows him to put holes in floors and walls, and he's quite a strong operator in my opinion. Next, Tachanka. He can go with Fuse. Tachanka is not in a good spot at the moment. They are going to rework him in the future, I believe. But at the moment, his ability is easily countable by grenades, Capithal bolts, um, vertical play, and it's just not. It's not a very good gadget, and his guns are the same as Capcans, which are not very good in my opinion. Next is Thatcher. I'm gonna put Thatcher in A tier because you can't go wrong with Thatcher. I mean, he's got EMP grenades, which are useful for pretty much all the defenders' gadgets. Um, he's good at getting rid of bandit batteries, Cade, electro claws. He can stop pulse for a brief time. He can open up maestro cams. It's just really powerful, and it pairs well with obviously Thermite and Hibana. It also has a strong gun. He also has a strong gun, which is the same as Sledge. So he's probably a strong A tier. Some people would say S tier. Next is Thermite. I'm gonna put Thermite in A Personally, I'd probably go Hibana, but if you're opening up walls, Thermite's probably the better option. If you're doing hatches, Hibana's probably the better option. You know, he's got a solid gun. Um, his assault rifle's pretty strong. Probably not as strong as Hibana's in my opinion, but it's a decent gun. And Thermite is a very good operator to open up walls, in my opinion. Next is Twitch. She can also go in A. Her gun did get a nerf, but it doesn't really make much of a change in my opinion. It's still a strong gun. You know, it's pretty fast for an assault rifle, and it's quite easy to control. Her ability is a shock drone, which is pretty handy because it counters mirror and um, bandit mostly. Mostly mirror though, because if they have a mirror, you can zap the canister at the back to open it up, which counters mirror. And mirror is a strong operator. She's also an A. So Twitch is a strong operator. Her drone can't jump though, which is actually quite a good mechanic because if it could, it would just be blatantly overpowered. And with her Twitch drone being nerfed, because it used to have like 34 charges each one, which is enough to kill like quite a few people, because it does 10 damage per shot. So, oof, yeah, she's in a good spot at the moment. Now next is Valk. I'm gonna put Valk in A because I used to play a lot of Valk. Um, her ability is the little cameras she can place. She gets three of them, and she can place them anywhere, and it's really good for intel gathering. So Valk, she's also got the MPX, which is a strong gun, in my opinion. It's good, solid, just a solid A tier operator, really. Next is Vigil. He's probably going to go in B. He's got a solid gun. His ability isn't too powerful because he's mostly off roaming, and if people are droning, they mostly drone the site, but they do drone a little bit around the outside. Um, and his gun is strong. He also has a Boss G ACOG now, so he's a solid operator. But that ability just is kind of lacking a little bit, in my opinion. Next is Warden. Warden could be C with Nook. He's not very strong. Um, his gun is alright, but his ability just lacks, really. It's not really that useful. Someone throws a flash in. Obviously, he can counter that and look straight through the flash, but that's not that strong. Next is Ying. Ying can probably go C as well. Her ability's good. It's a strong ability. You know what? I'm gonna put her in B because I like Ying. her her gun's really strong. It's got a lot of ammo and it shoots fairly fast. The recoil's amazing too. Um, but her ability is kind of countable because you can just like look away or chuck a nitro down before she runs in or something. And there's also Warden to counter her now, but no one really plays Warden, no one really plays Ying. But personally, I really like playing Ying because of her Candelas. You can just flash a room, run in, kill everyone. But yeah, so she's probably maybe a C, but I'm gonna put her in B. Zophia's A. Um, Her ability is concussion grenades and impact grenades, which allows you to open up walls and clear rooms really easily. Because if someone's in a room, then her concussion ability will go off instantly. But if they're not in the room, it will like bounce around and have a delay. So it's good to know if someone's in a room or not. Her guns are strong. Okay, she's got this. She's got some pretty good. Even her LMG is still strong, but most of the people go with the assault rifle. So yeah, she's a tier up. Three left. We've got Alibi. I'm gonna put Alibi in B. Her Storm is a really good gun. It's fast and it's accurate, but her ability kind of lacks now. It used to be good, but a lot of people know how to counter an Alibi. Like you know if a thing's gonna be fake or not, if you do enough drone work. Um, but sometimes you can actually get pretty good plays with Alibi. I've seen a lot of people do that. So she's probably a B tier operator. Next is Goyo. I haven't really played much of him. Um, mostly in the TTS when he first came out, but I'm gonna put him in B. Got a good gun, and his ability's really strong. Um, maybe he's an A. I'll leave him in B, but he could also be an A because his ability is really strong. Because if you pop that shield, then it leaves a massive fire circle that just denies pushes. So he's like a smoke. He just smokes ability, and you get a shield out of it. So, but if the enemy team gets onto it fast enough, they can kind of get rid of those shields before they become a pain. So that's probably why he's probably not as strong as Smoke. Wait, where's Smoke? Oh, Smoke's B. Shit. Oh, nah, he's probably a B. Smoke may be an A, but we'll leave it like that. And last is Amaru, who is probably a D, to be honest. Her ability is not that useful because it's so loud you can just hear them coming. So, or hear her coming. Sorry, but it's good for getting to roof, like to the roof of a objective fast, or getting into the actual building fast. But apart from that, it's not that useful. The gun's strong, mostly the LMG, but she's not that strong of an operator. So this is my Shifting Tides Operation tier list. I hope you enjoyed it.